All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
In the late night hours when the world's asleep, Rob McConnell's voice echoes secrets to keep. From Roswell's whispers to tales of the sky, on the X Zone Radio, we learn to fly high. With every new guest, the story unfolds, from abductees' tales to the mysteries told. Government cover-ups, they're deep and they're wide, but we're on a quest with the truth as our guide. Oh, journey through the X Zone, the cosmos we roam, searching for answers.
And welcome back, everyone. This is the X Zone. I'm Rob McConnell, coming to you from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, right here on the X Zone Broadcast Network. And if you'd like to send me an email, xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, on all social media sites, X Zone Radio TV. And joining us tonight is Randall Smith, and we've had the pleasure of having Randall on before. And we're going to be talking to Randall tonight about near-death experiences, palmistry, Reiki, shamanism, being a life coach, and a psychopomp. Randall, first of all, thanks very much for joining us back today. And it's been quite a day in the United States. We've had the liftoff, the successful liftoff of the Artemis II, going back to the moon after 50 years, 3 American astronauts with 1 Canadian. And then we had the 9 o'clock news press, what's it called, address to the nation from the White House with President Trump. Well, first of all, let our listeners know a little bit about you, how you got involved in doing what you're doing.
Okay, I had died at 6 years old of carbon monoxide poisoning. I went with my dad, and he was working on a vehicle and it's out of a garage. Mm-hmm. And they were in the front of the garage by the walk-in door. I was in the back of the garage playing. I was only 6, and I remember getting dizzy, and when I fell, I busted my head open. Ooh. And that's how they found me. And I was gone for technically 20 minutes. I was in the light, greeted by beings, and went to different dimensions and different places within the light. And after that, then life became to be really, really chaotic at times. Rob, it's kind of weird, man. But thank you for inviting me back again. But yeah, the near-death experience is what started it all for me. I was only 6, and I didn't know life any different than after that experience. You know, I grew up in a Southern Baptist family, so every time you turn around, you're going to go to hell for something or another, you know, and I just wasn't buying any of that. And in order to find out who I was and why I had all these strange gifts and things were happening, I didn't know it was a gift at the time. To me, it was a curse. So I'm trying to figure out who I was and what I was, and how come people don't believe you when you say you see things and hear things and sense things, you know. And
right.
So a lifelong of trying to figure out what I was doing and why I'm here.
What were some of the things that you were seeing or experiencing after your near-death experience that started all of this sort of paranormal?
People would walk by. They would talk to me. I would get wakened up from dreams. I would be awakened while I'm sleeping too. Mm-hmm. I see people walk by. I smell things. I sense things. I kind of know things. So things would happen before, and I was able to project it and things of that sort. So, I mean, it was really tough. You know, I see things all the time and I hear things, and, you know, it's crazy.
Some of our listeners may not know what a psychopomp is. What is a psychopomp?
A psychopomp is somebody who helps spirit cross over that is either stuck or trapped here. And they most of the time, they don't know that they have passed, and they're just going about their business, but they can't communicate with anybody else other than those who are passed over themselves. So I help these people cross over. You know, when there's a haunting going on or something similar to that, people will call me and I'll go and help with helping them cross over. I don't banish them to hell or nothing like that. You know, everybody goes to the light. We all come from the light. We'll all eventually go back to the light. So that's what I do is I help spirits cross over.
How did you first know that you had this ability to help spirits cross?
Well, when I was younger, I had spirits would come literally out of the woodwork, literally walk through the wall, and I would be able to talk to them and communicate, and then they would ask for help, and I wasn't sure. Of course, being a kid, I didn't know what to do, Rob. I had no idea what to do, so I would ask for help, and a lot of times I would get spirits come from the light and help these people cross over. But a little later on, like in my mid to late 20s, I needed to know how to do this properly because I hear them all the time and I sense them all the time and this and that, and I didn't know the proper procedure or the proper way to ask and things. I'm a near-death experiencer and I was in the light, but I wasn't given the information on how to properly communicate, connect with spirit to cross them over. So I started studying shamanism, and man, I tell you what, that opened up all kinds of doors. Now I can do it pretty easily without any hesitation at all. So people cross over. I get calls all the time from all over the world.
Now, can you do this from your home via Skype or Zoom or?
I can do that either Skype or Zoom or through a dream, or you ask me to do something. There really is no break in communications between ourselves and those everywhere else on the planet. All I need to do is hear your voice and I can communicate with you at that particular point. I'm tuned in with you, and that enables me to be able to communicate with your higher good, your spirit guides, and things of that sort.
So do you deal with the people that are on the same vibrational frequency? Is that how it works?
Typically, I'm just a hollow bone. I'll open up space and I'll hold space. And the spirits are the ones who do the work. I'm basically just holding the space for that to take place. I sense and see things as they are happening, yes, but I'm just holding space.
Must be very gratifying to do that.
Oh man, I'm telling you what, it's just other than the birth of my daughter, man, there's nothing any more gratifying than helping people cross over. I mean, when you run across a scene and you know that they've been there for 100, maybe 200 years, and they're just in that same loop over and over and over and over again. And you can bring somebody like a mom or a dad or a sibling or a spouse from the light, and they'll help this person cross over. You know, because if you were to have your grandmother come from the light and she knows pertinent things about you, you're not going to tell her no. You're going to go.
Yeah. What's it like when you have to, or when you're asked to help a child cross? You know, you're a dad. That must be hard for you.
It's not hard because I know that it's going home. Okay. They're going home from where they came from. The hard part is the emotions that you bring into it when you're doing this type of work. You know, there's things that I've seen that I don't want to see again. There's things that I've heard that I don't want to hear again. And yeah, having to deal with children, that's pretty tough, especially when they're stuck in a loop and something is keeping them there, and you got to figure out what's keeping them there, and then you can cross them over.
Do a lot of these spirits know that they're dead?
I would say yes and no. It's kind of a two-headed coin. And the reason why is religion it seems to be the mainstay for keeping people stuck here. You're afraid to go to the light because you think you're going to go to hell because you did a couple things wrong or something like that. Or you think that you're not worthy of being able to go to the light. You know, ignorance can keep people here. If you had a traumatic death experience, that can keep you here because you just don't know that you've died.
Okay. How much does religion play in then the world that we know as spirit?
How much does religion play in the world we know as spirit? Religion, once you've crossed the veil, Rob, and you're out of this physical dimension and you're in the spirit world, religion no longer is valid.
Really?
Yeah, we're spirit beings. We're of light. We're of love. There isn't watch how I say this. There will be a Buddha energy. There'll be a Christ energy. There'll be a Muhammad energy. There'll be things like that. But as far as needing a person to help you go into the light, God is all loving and God is all accepting. And God is neither male nor female. God is all there is. And in due respect to that, we all will go to the light. So religion playing a part in spirituality? No. Religion and spirituality are two completely different things. A person can be very spiritual and not be religious at all. We all go to the light eventually. So, and you'll see that there really isn't any religion in heaven. Thank God.
Randall, what happens when we die?
95 to 96% of the people will go through a tunnel. They'll have a life review. When you get to the end of that tunnel, you'll have a life review. In that life review, you can't hide anything. You'll know basically everything. You become that person to whom you've encountered with throughout your lifetime. You will become everybody you've ever encountered. Everybody you've ever encountered. And you'll see the results of your actions to these people and how it affected other people within their lifetime too. So that's what happens is you have the life review. Then after you get the life review, depending on what stage of death you're in, you go to the dimensions of learning. Then you'll become aware of who you are, your self-discovery. You'll know that you're not a physical being, you are a spirit. And we are energy and we're connected to everybody. And we have soul groups.
So how many levels of death are there?
There's only one level of death. You die. You're dead. Right. So, but as far as from my understanding and my experience, there's 7 levels of spirit. Okay. Now, there's many rooms in my mansion. It is said in the Bible.
Yeah.
So in those different dimensions, in the 7 dimensions, I believe there's 7 upon those too. So I believe there's just a bunch of dimensions.
Interesting topic. Interesting gentleman. Randall Smith is my guest this hour, Exonation. If you'd like to find out more about Randall, he is on Facebook. Just go to Facebook and type in his name, Randall Smith, and he'll pop up. And he also has a YouTube channel. Once again, just go to YouTube, type in Randall Smith. All the way in Indiana. We'll be back on the other side of this very short break as the X Zone continues with yours truly, Rob McConnell, from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. And if you'd like to send me an email, xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, on all social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV. And you can listen to us streamed around the world on classic1220.ca. Don't go away.
On the X-Zone Radio, we learn to fly high. With every new guest, the story unfolds. From abductees' tales to the mysteries told. Government cover-ups, they're deep and they're wide. But we're on a quest with the truth as our guide. Oh, journey through the X-Zone, the cosmos we roam. Searching for answers beyond our earthly home. Are we alone in the dark or watching from afar? In the heart of the night, we're reaching for stars. They say there's a base where the secrets are bound. Area 51 hidden there underground. Astrophysicists probing with questions they raise. In the heart of the night, where the shadows play, on the X-Zone we gather, come what may. With Rob McConnell guiding us through the dark, searching for truth hidden, igniting the spark. Whispers of spirits, both gentle and bold. Tales of the ancients in the stories retold. From haunted old houses to the echoing halls, we seek the unknown where mystery calls.
And welcome back. Randall Smith is my guest. And Randall, in your job, I don't know if I should call it your job, the work that you do with people. Let me say, using your gift when dealing with people who need your expertise, your compassion, your knowledge. Do you deal with ghosts?
Ghost and spirit, once you haven't crossed over, you're a spirit, a ghost, it's all the same thing. Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
So a ghost is a spirit is a ghost.
Same thing.
So
yeah.
why the connotation? Why the difference when you talk to different people who do the investigations in the paranormal? They kind of say, they draw a line between the two, and I've always thought they were the same. I'm glad that you and I are on the same wavelength here. Why is it called hunting them? Because you can't, when you go hunting, don't you go out to kill something? And you're talking about something that's already dead that can't be killed again.
So very true, Rob.
Yeah.
So very true. Yes. I you don't know why they call it hunting either, because if a spirit wants you to know that they're there, they're going to let you know they're there.
Right.
It ain't a matter of you going, hey, are you home? No. They'll open the doors for you first, and then you'll go, oh crap, there's something here, man.
Do we need to fear the spirit world?
No.
That's plain.
No.
It's simple.
Simple, direct, no. What we really, and fear is false evidence appearing real to begin with. So as far as fearing goes, anytime you're controlled by a religion or something like that, there should be some apprehension there. Yes.
Is there such a thing as the demonic realm?
I was married before, so.
Oh yeah, okay. Let's not get into that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a good one for you. Two guys
Okay.
sitting at a bar. One guy says to the other guy, he says, my mother-in-law is a real angel. And the guy looks at him and says, you're lucky mine's still alive.
Yeah. Yes, sirree.
Oh, one more.
Yeah.
Okay. So you get a little bit of music, you get a little bit of comedy. What the hell? It's a good show. You know what the difference between an Irish wake and an Irish wedding is?
Depends on the alcohol, I guess.
No, you're close. One less drunk. That's
One less. Yeah.
I admire being Irish because we celebrate the person's life when they die.
Yeah.
And I think that this is something that other religions or religious philosophical associations should realize, that we grieve for ourselves, but the person who has gone should be celebrated. Absolutely. Because while they're here on this planet, for the majority of time, they've done good. They've touched people in ways that other people would not be touched. And I'm not talking about Catholic priests at this point. Yeah. I'm going to go to hell when I die. No. I work for a living. That's right.
That's right.
But it's strange when you look at life and you realize as you grow older, like you and I have, we've seen a lot, we understand a lot, that society kind of tries to control us by giving these different not values, but different beliefs that if you do something good, you go to heaven. If you do something bad, you go to hell. Right. Cause and effect. And I think in many cases, this does more harm than good.
Absolutely. It stops you from living up to your true potential.
Yeah.
Because we got to mess up in order to be able to grow up.
That's right. What's the old saying that you can't when it comes to somebody who's hooked on drugs or alcohol, they can't get better until they hit rock bottom.
And you have to hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think that's the case in life in general.
It really is too. Back to the demonic thing earlier, Rob. I believe that there's dark force entities, yes. And I believe those dark force entities are manipulating and hurting certain things, yes. But as far as demonic and demons, nah, I don't. I have a hard time with that.
Have you ever, has anybody ever called you up because of you've got an excellent reputation, I must tell you that.
Thank you.
Do they ever call you up and say, Randall, I've read about you on the internet, and I think my daughter is possessed. Do you do exorcisms? Oh boy, he's thinking about this one.
Well, I don't like to call it an exorcism. I like to call them attachments, because to be completely possessed by something means you've given up your soul. And that there's only just a few cases of that. Now, I have removed spirit from people that have been alcoholics, and as soon as the spirit was taken off, they didn't drink anymore. I've had people that were suicidal, and once the spirits were taken off of those people, they were no longer suicidal. Addictions, things of that sort too. Health issues are a big one.
Wow.
If I can get the spirit to pay attention and go when their mom or dad or other people come for them and they cross over, then the life changes for the individual that came to see me. It's not for what I do. Like, again, I'm just a hollow bones, and I'm holding space for spirit to do the work through this vessel.
So the alcoholism, the drug addiction, the attachment, if I understand what you're saying correctly, is a spirit that has attached themselves to this person because they're on this side and they can't get to the other side.
Yep, exactly. Keep this in mind too. If somebody dies, I'm going to use light profanity here. If somebody dies and they're an asshole,
right,
and they attach to somebody, they're an asshole attached to somebody. So once you remove that, then that will go away. But once a person goes into the light, those characteristics are no longer valid within the makeup of the spirit being. That's just something that they did while they were in the physical.
Where does reincarnation come to play in all of this, in the world of spirit? Well, I should have asked you first, if, in your opinion, if reincarnation is real.
Yes, it's real.
Okay.
There is no possible way, and if you're a serious critical thinker, there is no way that you can become godlike in one lifetime. You're not going to figure it out. You're not going to figure it out. How many emotions do we go through daily, Rob?
Oh, Lord.
And you're going to figure out all of those implications with every emotion in one lifetime?
No,
it's
sir.
Not possible. It's not possible.
So we have to keep coming back. Now, when we come back, do we know why we're coming back?
We have soul groups. And if you were to read books by Dr. Michael Newton, Journey of Souls or Destiny with Souls by Dr. Michael Newton, that'll help confirm what I'm about to tell you. We have soul groups that we are part of. And within that soul group, we all play a part in each other's evolution of a soul. The goal of us is to become gods, godlike or godlike. So that is our purpose, is to be like that. So we're to become guides at some point or another. And you're not going to figure that out in one lifetime. It takes many, many lifetimes of figuring any of this out.
First of all, excuse me, I have a summer cold, and I don't mean to.
Oh, you're good.
To sound raspy, which I do at this time. So my apologies. So the lesson or the goal has already been taught to us from when we come from source, because and for those who read. In the book of Genesis, it says, and God said, let us create man in our image, in our likeness. So that's the mission right there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's spelled right in front of you. What does it mean? We got to become godlike. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Become the creator.
Yep. And how are you going to do that in one lifetime?
You can't.
You're not. So that in itself validates to me reincarnation.
Have you ever had a past life regression?
I've been through a couple of people that attempted to do a past life regression on me. And the irony to that is they were telling me what I was in a past life, which does not validate me in myself. Because if I was to experience a past life, I would experience the past life, not through somebody else's eyes, but through my own. There are several hypnotherapists that I would trust to do a past life. If you were to have a past life done to you, it should take at least 3 hours to 4 hours or 5 hours, because it's going to take you about an hour to get out of the way so that you can journey within your mind. And all the hypnotherapist does, they don't guide you. They just give you key words and key phrases to set you back to those lifetimes.
I understand. I'd like to talk to you more about your shamanism, because I find shamanism very fascinating. You know, shamanism has been used in every indigenous culture that we know of, no matter which continent you're on. The indigenous people have always had some sort of shamanistic, not rituals, but shamanistic ways about them.
Right.
So I've got to go to commercial in about 50 seconds. Quickly about shamanism. In your opinion, what is shamanism?
Shamanism is the ability to journey between dimensions, the upper or the lower world, and communicate with spirit guides and also spirit animals.
Wow.
And the earth realm, let's say, fairies, gnomes, and elves, and things of that sort. Believe it or not, they're real. They're as real as we are. And I'm looking at you, you're looking at me.
Yeah.
So we learn how to communicate with them. Trees know more than we do. Rocks know more than we do. You know, the water knows more than we do. So if you communicate and tap into those things, then you can be of nature, being of nature, shamanistic.
I have always believed in the ability of plants, trees to have a life essence that basically we can communicate with each other.
Absolutely.
You and I have to take that break. Randall, nice seeing you, my friend. And Exonation, Randall and I will be back on the other side of this short break as we continue here in the X Zone with yours truly, Rob McConnell, from our broadcast center and studios in beautiful St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, in the heart of Niagara. And if you're looking for a place to spend some time and you're not too far away, come on down, see us. You'll find out that we're the most friendliest people. We have the finest accommodations, the greatest food, the most wonderful vineyards, and always something exciting to do. It's easy. We're right between Toronto and Niagara Falls, New York, on the 401. Drop in, say hi, and while you're driving, tune in to your hometown radio, Classic 1220 CFAJ on your AM dial, or listen to us on classic1220.ca. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
We seek the unknown where. Where the mist rolls in from the river's bend, and the willow weeps for the long dead man. Cannon smoke and musket cries still echo under haunted skies. In the shadows by Queenston's hill, you can hear the marchers still. Drums of doom and bayonets gleam, awakening soldiers from their dream. They rise from the ground when the moon turns pale, whispering names on a cold night.
Welcome back, everyone. Randall Smith is my special guest this hour, and if you'd like to find out more about Randall, all you need to do is go to Facebook, type in his name, it's there. Or you can go to the X Zone Broadcast Network and click on the X Zone Radio Show, find Randall's name. And this show and the other shows that Randall has done with us are there, as well as all the information about this fine young man. And Randall, we're talking about shamanism. Indigenous cultures around the world have been using shamanism before telephones, televisions, the internet, AI, and yet there seems to be a common thread between each and every one of these cultures. How, in your opinion, was this all done?
Knowing that the earth has a heartbeat and knowing our heartbeat is the same as the earth, and then using a drum or rattle to be able to facilitate the 6 to 8 beats per second, the same as the earth heartbeat, will enable you to be able to journey either the upper world or the lower world and things like that. And you're able to do things within those realms. And the more compassionate you are for people, the more work you get, of course, and this seems to flow better for you.
Now, you were telling us before that you actually do traveling.
Yes.
Okay, so, now is this a spiritual travel, or is this what they call a quest?
Well, it could actually be called both.
Both, eh?
Because when you are traveling, you are seeking something. So it is you're on a quest to get back power for somebody, or bring back soul pieces, or give them energy again, or remove something from them. So being of compassion will enable you to be able to do these journeys easier with the help of a drum or a rattle.
Okay, now, how is that done? Do you have to put yourself into a certain state of mind, or is that the job of the drum and the rattle to kind of synchronize you with the elements that allow you to make the trip up or down?
Yes, yeah, it's a synchronization between everything, because once you rattle 6 to 8 beats per second monotonously, and then you close your eyes and you protect yourself, of course, psychically first, and then you prepare yourself. Ritual is very important, because I like to burn sage, I like to burn sweetgrass and palo santo. I have crystals and things, and I set up a little platform that I sit my stuff on, and I do a ritual. And by doing this, my guides know that I'm ready and I'm willing to do for myself, but with myself for others. So by doing this and setting up a ritual, then I prepared space, and then I'm prepared space. Now my guides will come and assist and help me with doing what I set out to do, as far as helping, however I'm to help somebody.
Now, you're talking about guides. Who are these guides, and how many of these guides do you have the ability to work with when you're trying to help somebody?
I have 3 to 4 guides that work with me all the time. I've had as many as 25 to 30.
Wow.
But typically it's 4 to 5 guides that I work with pretty much most of the time. If I'm doing any type of psychopomp work, I'll ask for spirit to come forth from the light. What I usually do, Rob, is I'll ask for friends, family, and loved ones of those that are trapped or stuck here to come forth from the light and assist and help with the healing. And when I do that and I got my protection around you, then I get kind of shimmering light in the room. I know that they're there. And when they're there, I know that we're getting ready to do some pretty serious work. That's typically what I do. But we all have guides, and I work with mine regularly. And I thank them all the time. I'm in a constant state of appreciation for them, because we do work all the time.
Randall, is there a difference between a spirit guide, and an angel?
Well, spirit guides are typically kind of angels, kind of the same thing. For me, depiction of an angel as a winged being type of deal,
Right.
that's not necessarily true. What they're seeing is the aura. The aura may appear as wings, but it's your aura.
Oh, I see.
The higher evolved you are, the bigger and the brighter your aura is. And it can be seen as wings, but it's really not. It's just the energy of the being.
So once again, could the angels be further proof of the injection of religious philosophies into trying to manipulate our lives?
I would say yeah to that. Yeah. Yeah. They depict them as they want us to think that they are.
Right.
So yeah.
So when you're on this journey, or you've got your guides and you're going to help somebody. For example, let's take the drunk at the bar who's got an alcohol problem. His alcohol is bringing his family life to ruins. His marriage is going to just bust any day. His children are are ashamed to have him around the house. He's got violent tendencies. How do you take it from there? Like, does he have to know that you're actually doing what you're doing? Can the wife call up and say, listen, I need your help. This is what's happening. This is where he usually hangs out. Or do you, using the guides and your journeys, actually know where to find him because of some negative energy that he's giving off?
Most of the time, the individual needs to ask for help. Once they've asked for help, then that opens the door for me to be able to do what we do. Again,
Right.
I'm just a hollow bone. So the wife can ask all day long, but it's ultimately up to the spouse that they want help. They have to ask for it. Now, for a child, somebody under the age, like 16, 15 or whatever,
Right.
Their parents can ask for help for them because they're still their guardians. But as far as another adult, consenting adult, the adult has to ask for help.
How long does it take for this to work? How long does it take for you and your guides to rid this person of his or her attachment?
Sometimes it can be as fast as 5 minutes. Sometimes it takes an hour. Sometimes it takes 2.
Really?
Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 days, depending on how many attachments they have and how bad the person is off.
What's the worst you've seen?
Okay. I had done a healing on an individual she didn't tell me where she was. I told her where she was, and it was confirmed.
Okay.
She was at the Holocaust, and she was
my
one of the
God.
workers that were dumping bodies.
Oh, God.
So can I tell this quick story?
Sure,
Do I
4
have time?
minutes.
Okay.
And if we need more time, we'll do it on the other side of the break.
Okay, not a problem.
This is
So
important.
she calls me and says, I've got some serious stuff going, Randall. I need your help, and I
Yeah.
need it right now. We'll be back from vacation in a week. Can I make an appointment? Yeah, you can make an appointment. So they get over to my place, and I sense it when she walks in the door. I just sense it. So I have her lay down, and I cover them up, and I'm doing like a Reiki session on them, but it's a lot more than that. So I touch her head and her face, and as soon as I do, I see a gentleman, and he has a wheelbarrow, and this wheelbarrow is full of bodies. And he's taking this wheelbarrow and he's going down this little pathway and dumping them. Fill it up, go down this pathway and dumping them. I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, am I going crazy? I see this. I touch her head. I let go of her and I don't see it. I touch her and I see it. And I pick right back up the same scene. So I know this is actually going on. So I'm communicating. I try to communicate with this individual spirit that's dumping these bodies. I get his attention. And when I do, I ask for his family, friends, and loved ones to come from the light to assist and help with the healing. And I see and I sense them, and he goes, and then he pops right back into the body again. I'm thinking, oh, crap. So he goes again, and he pops right back into the body. I said, I back off and said, I'm not seeing something. Something is going on.
Right.
So I asked for more help. I touched her again. As soon as I did, I'm right back to the same scene. He's got the wheelbarrow and he's dumping it. And I hear, you need to cross over those that are in the wheelbarrow first before he'll cross over because they're attached to him. So I got those guys, women and men and children. It was awful, Rob. It was just so bad, man. But I got them to cross over. And as soon as his plight was done with those folks, he crossed over and he didn't come back. So I knew, and that's called layering, when an attachment has an attachment. That makes it real tough to get rid of the spirits, not get rid of them, but to help them to go home. So once that was all said and done, I finished up closing her and protecting her aura and things like that. So I had her set up and I gave her something sweet to ground her again. I gave her some water. So we're talking and I asked her, I said, where were you? And before I asked her, I said, I'm going to tell you what I saw. And I told her what I saw and what had happened and this and that. And she was absolutely beside herself, shocked. And she said, we were at the Holocaust exhibit in Germany. And when we left there, we went to the one in New York. So she got a double dose of all of those attachments from there. So by doing what I do, and she has never had any more problems at all since then. So it's amazing how this works. I get cold chills just thinking about it. It's amazing. And I don't know how many there were, Rob. I don't know. There were thousands. How many people went through that place. But yeah, that was the worst I've done.
The springtime is coming soon, hopefully anyway. And ladies drag their husbands all across Canada and then the United States to these little garage sales and flea markets. Can something that is purchased have something attached to it that they can bring home unknowingly?
Absolutely.
When we come back from this commercial break, let's talk and see if we can help some people who went to garage sales or flea markets, barn sales last year, and since they've come back, strange and weird things have been happening in their homes, and maybe we can, kind of prevent something like this happening this year. Randall Smith is my special guest, Exo Nation. Interesting conversation with a very interesting man. Are you a skeptic or a believer? Well, send me your emails, exxon@exxonradiotv.com. And we'll be back on the other side of this break as we wrap up this hour here in the X Zone with yours truly, Rob McConnell, from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. And if you'd like to find out more about the X Zone, go to exxonradiotv.com, and to listen to all the shows that the X Zone Broadcast Network produces and has over, I think, the last 20 years. You can go to xzbn.net. All the shows are there, and you can listen to any show you want, and you know what? There's no charge. 100% free. It's our way of saying thank you for being there for us. I'll be back. Don't go away.
Queenston's Hill, you can hear the marchers still, drums of doom and bayonets gleam, awakening soldiers.
She left the port of Superior Town, a hold weighed down with steel, a proud old ship on the inland sea with a heart of iron and keel. The winds, they whispered through November's chill as the skies began to moan, and the crew looked north through the gathering storm, far from their hearth and home. Oh, the lake was cold and the night was black and the wind tore through her sails. She fought the waves till her spine was cracked by the fury of Superior's gales. Now the bell still tolls where the waters swell and the ghostly breakers wail for the 29 men who never came back from the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Captain McSorley.
Randall Smith is my special guest this hour, Exo Nation. First of all, Randall, thanks very much for taking time out of your day to join us and for sharing the stories that you've shared with us about how you were able to enrich the lives of people, the lives that you've been able to detach from attachments that they have. And man, you're a hero in my books.
Well, thank you, Rob. I appreciate that. I do the best I can, and I help as many people as I can. Try not to be a hero.
Yeah.
I just know that if somebody that I knew and loved was been gone for a long time, and I had the ability to bring them back, I'd bring them back.
You wear your heart on your sleeve, my friend.
Yeah, that's what I've been told. Thank you.
With all you do, I'm sure that you come across people who are very skeptical about what you do and how you do it. How do you deal with skepticism?
Well, you hate to have to prove things to people, but sometimes you just have to prove that, you can do what you say you can do. And if they doubt things, and there's things that can be done that will leave you breathless and, oh my God, you what? Type of deal. So yeah. It's like hugging a tree and having the tree hug you back.
I hug trees. I really do. But
Okay.
I've never had one hug me back that I'm aware of.
Haven't you? Okay, let's try this.
Okay.
When you hug a tree,
Yeah.
go back away from the actual tree itself, and get to the point where the branches are like that far away from you. Okay, put your hands out and just hold your hands still, because once you've hugged a tree, you're already connected to the tree. So just go back and, like I said, put yourself about a foot maybe away from the branches,
Hmm.
the leaves and the branches, and hold your hands there and say, "Touch me, please, touch me." And don't put your hands forward. Just stay right to where you're at. You go, "Touch me, please, please touch me," and the tree will touch you. The tree will touch you. Try it and see, and then text me and let me know.
I will. That reminds me of I was in a grocery store one day in an Italian open market, and I saw this lady going around, and she was just kind of putting her hands, not touching the vegetables, about 6 to 8 inches off from the vegetables and the fruit, and I said to the manager, I said, "What is she doing?" He said, "She's feeling the life force of the vegetables to see how fresh they are." And I said, "You're kidding." He said, "Try it."
Well, you know, Rob,
So
we
I
are.
did, and you can actually feel it.
You bet you can.
Yeah.
We are electrical beings. We're physical, but we're electrical beings. We have a divine spark within us, so that means we're electrical beings. And you should be able to congruently touch and feel another energy source. You should be able to. Everybody can do that.
And that makes total sense because of the aura that's around
Yep,
us,
absolutely.
and it so much makes so much sense that it seems like it's so simple that it can't be real.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But it is. It's really simple. It is simple. If you relax your vision enough, you can see auras.
Yeah. We were talking about attachments to antiques and things that are bought at garage sales and flea markets. I would imagine that not only are the articles attached with something, but the people working in the flea market as well could have attachments on them that they can transfer over to the people that are walking through the flea markets.
Absolutely.
So, how do people protect themselves, and what happens once they've gotten something home? They're listening to the show, and Ralph yells out, "Hey, Bertha, get over here. Listen to what McConnell is saying with his guest. I told you there was something screwy about that damn desk you bought."
Well, for starters, belief is major. You
Mm-hmm.
have to believe that something's going on,
Yeah.
and once you acknowledge that the belief is there, now you can do something about it. I've crossed over. I mean, I'm just a hollow bone. My guides do that. I cannot tell you how many people have been crossed over that were attached to items.
Wow.
To cars, I crossed over a lady that was attached to a chest, a steamer chest from the 1700s. The guy had bought it because he loved it, and when he brought it into his house, all hell broke loose. So when her husband sent her this chest, he died shortly afterwards. She received it with the letter saying of his demise. So she was distraught and just literally put all of her emotions into this chest because that was what he gave her, the last thing. So when I got her to cross over, everything became real nice in the home. But it took a little bit to get her to cross over. Once he came from the light to assist and help with her going home, she left immediately. But it took her to recognize this is not the devil. I wouldn't bring anybody like that from the light to you. So bring your husband and your mom and your dad, and you see them, go ahead and go. And she did, and everything was calm after that point. But yeah, people attach to things all the time. It's amazing. We are energy. We're energy.
When you are bringing these relatives from the light to help you, you know, get the attachment to go, have you ever physically had any manifestations of these people that are coming from the light?
Yes, sometimes I get glimpses, and the reason why is to give credence and credibility to what what I'm seeing and saying. So if I can describe your aunt, for instance, her hair color if she wore glasses or not, her build, her demeanor. If I can describe things like that to you to a T and I don't know anything about you, I think that validates the situation.
It sure does. It sure does. Can anybody do what you do, or does
Yes.
it? Yeah,
Yes.
they can.
Yes, sure can. You got to believe. You have to believe you can. And then the next thing is to be able to, you have to establish some kind of communication between yourself and those that are trapped here. And of course, we can't do anything without our guides doing the work basically for us. We're just hollow bones and we're holding space for this to take place, because the compassionate heart within me enables this light to open and bring forth these beings from the light to assist and help with the healing. But anybody can do this with the proper training. Absolutely. Absolutely.
How long does it take for somebody to be able to be as proficient as you are?
You can start off within just a matter of a few months and be able to cross people over. I've been doing this since I was in my 20s. I'm 64, so in a couple of days. But yeah, anybody can do this, but it's the belief. And don't take anything on. Don't ask the spirit to come into you to get off of them. They need to go home. In all honesty, we all need to go home, but you don't want to bring anything onto you, because then you're taking on the problems that this person comes to you to get rid of.
Wow.
So you cross these people over, and anybody can do this with the proper training.
Do you believe in coincidences?
No.
You don't?
No. Everything happens the way it's supposed to and why it's supposed to.
Do you think that we come to this reality with a script?
We come here with a purpose, and the script is written, yes, but we have a lot of what ifs and different changes, because you can change a thought and you can change your life.
Right.
And that's why we're given free will. We have a script. This is the playbook. You know how a football team goes. Sometimes they don't go by the plays at all. So we're given a playbook and we're given a script, and it's up to you to discern, and ask for prayer. And prayer is very important too, because if you run into a brick wall, a prayer can help you. It definitely can help you.
All right. But who are we praying to?
We're praying to our higher self and our guides and for assistance.
Got about a minute and a half left. As I said before, thanks very much for joining us. But what is your final message to the members of the Exo Nation tonight? What would you like them to understand from our conversation tonight?
Okay, you go back to the near-death experience, the life review. You will become everybody you've ever encountered in your life. Everybody. No exceptions. You can't lie to yourself and you can't hide from yourself. So knowing that you become everybody that you've ever encountered, how are you going to respond now to people? Compassionately and full of love. Because at the end of my life, I want to hug myself. I want to love myself like I do other people. That's what I want to experience.
Just like Shakespeare said, to thine own self be true.
Absolutely.
Do you give, when I was going through the information that you sent us, and thank you very much, by the way, over here, you did an interview, NDE TV Vietnam.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was called Life After Life, and the lady's name was Vivian. It was a very good interview. Her English was a little broke, but she spoke very well, and it was a really good one. We had almost 200,000 views so far.
Right.
It was a good interview. I thoroughly enjoyed doing this anyways.
Oh, you're great at it, and I want to thank you so much for joining us. Any special plans in the future?
Well, I'm working on a healing center here in Indiana, northern Indiana, and I'm going to have a device called the EE system, which is an energy enhancement system. And it, again, we are electrical beings.
Right.
So when your body's out of balance, things go crazy. We can bring you back into balance and bring harmonic resonance back into your body.
You're going to be back with us in a couple of months or so, or before that. Let's talk about that when you come back. Okay. I'm sure a lot of people would love to hear about it.
All right, very good. We will.
Randall, take care. Be
Thank
good,
you.
my friend.
Thank you, Rob. You too, bud.
Exo Nation, if you'd like to find out more about Randall, just go to Facebook, type in his name, Randall Smith. It's RandallSmith, and he's also on LinkedIn, right?
Yep.
Okay. This is the X Zone. I'm Rob McConnell. Hour number 2 starts on the other side of this short break as we keep investigating the world of the paranormal and the science of parapsychology from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away.
Thanks, Rob.
Take care.
She left the port of Superior Town, a whole way down with steel. A proud old ship on the inland sea, with a heart of iron and keel. The winds, they whispered through November's chill as the skies began to moan, and the crew looked north through the gathering